Hello everyone, my name is Putesh. I'm a psychiatric social worker. So today we are going to learn about what is autism spectrum disorder and what are the symptoms of ASD. So autism is a group of developmental brain disorders collectively called autism spectrum disorders. The term spectrum refers to the wide range of symptoms, skills and level of impairment or disability that children with ASD can have. Some children are mainly impaired by their symptoms, but others are. What are the symptoms of autism? So, symptoms of autism spectrum disorder vary from one child to the next, but in general, they fall into three areas: social impairment, communication difficulties, and repetitive and stereotype behavior. If we are discussing in the social impairment, most children with the ASD have trouble engaging in everyday social interactions, according to the Diagnosis and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders. So, make little eye contact, tend to look and listen to less people in their environment, or fail to respond to the other people. Do not readily seek to share their enjoyment of toys activity by pointing to show things to others. Respond unusually when others show anger, distress, or often. So,
Hello everyone, myself is Pooja Jaswara. I'm from Clinical Psychologist Department. So, according to the American Academy of Pediatrics developmental milestone, by the first birthday, typical toddlers can say one or two words. Turn when they hear their names, they point when they want a toy. When offered something they do not want, toddlers make it clear with words, gestures, or facial expressions that the answer is no. For children with ASD, reaching such milestone may not be so straightforward. For example, some children with ASD may have some symptoms like fail or be slow to respond to their names or other verbal attempts to gain their attention, fail to be slow, coo and babble in the first year of life, but then they stop doing so, develop language at a delay pace, learn to communicate using pictures or their own sign language, speak only in a single words or repeat certain phrase over and over, seeing unable to combine words into a meaningful sentence, repeat words or phrases that they hear, to a condition called echolalia, use words that seem odd, out of place, or have the special meaning known only by those familiar with the child's way of communication. Even children with ASD who have relatively good language skill often have difficulties with the back and forth conversation. For example, because they find it difficult to understand and react to social cues, children with Asperger's syndrome often talk at length about a favorite subject, but they won't allow anyone else a chance to respond or notice when other reacts indifferently.
I'm here to talk about repetitive and stereotype behaviors. Children with autism spectrum disorder often have repetitive motions or unusual behaviors. These behaviors may be extreme and very noticeable, or they can be mild and discreet. For example, some children may repeatedly flap their arms or walk in specific patterns, while others may be subtly move their fingers, their eyes in what looks to be a gesture. These repetitive actions are sometimes called stereotypy or stereotype behavior. Children with autism spectrum disorder also tend to have overly focused interests. Children with autism spectrum disorder may become fascinated with moving objects or parts of objects like the wheels of a moving car. They might spend a long time lining up toys in a certain way rather than playing with them. They may also become very upset if someone accidentally moves one of the toys. Repetitive behavior can also take the form of a persistent, intense preoccupation. For example, they might be obsessed with learning all about vacuum cleaners, train schedules, or lighthouses. Children with autism spectrum disorder often have great interest in numbers, symbols, or science topics. While children with autism spectrum disorder often do best with routine in their daily activities and surroundings, inflexibility may often be extreme and cause serious difficulties. They may insist on eating the same exact meals every day or taking the same exact route to school. A slight change in a specific routine can be extremely upsetting. Some children may even have emotional outbursts, especially when feeling of angry, or frustrated when placed in a new or stimulating environment. No two children express exactly the same types and severity of symptoms. In fact, many typically developing children occasionally display some of the behaviors common to children with autism spectrum disorder. However, if you notice your child has several autism spectrum disorder related symptoms, have your child screened and evaluated by a health professional experienced with autism spectrum disorder.